Bug. One, two, three. Check, check, check. Okay, good. Bug, go away. Working outside. Greetings, my friends. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a travel photographer, and currently I'm in state of Virginia in the United States. I came here to take pictures of fall colors. It's beautiful outside. It started morning with the fog and now it's sunny. I'm getting warm. Today I'm gonna talk about color calibration. What is color calibration, and when you need it and how to achieve it. So let's say you go to electronic store and you see all these long rows of television screens, computer screens, and they usually show more or less the same picture or television program, but all images are different. Some are more saturated than the others, some are darker, brighter, contrast, high or low, greenish cast, bluish cast, reddish cast, you name it. And the reason for that is that manufacturers actually don't have universal standard they need to calibrate their monitors for, so they kind of just do something so the pictures look good. And it's okay for normal use, no problem here. But if you, like me, photographer or filmmaker, and you need to achieve consistency in your color work, then it's a problem. And to solve this problem, you need to color calibrate your monitors. So let's see three situations when you need it. One is when you work on multiple computers. For example, I have laptop and I have desktop. Both computers have dual monitor setup, so total of 4 screens. And if I do all my magic on my laptop with Lightroom or with video editing software, and then I transfer it to desktop, suddenly I lost all my work because it looks completely different. So if I color calibrate all my 4 screens, then I can switch back and forth and I will see image of almost the same quality, and that will be a good thing. Another situation is when you do color printing at home and you have color printer, and again you do your work on a laptop, you send it to a printer, and print doesn't look even close to what you just did. And if you run 5-10 prints trying to achieve color you want, it's a lot of money because paper costs money, ink costs money, and at the end it's expensive, plus all the aggravation you get. If you color calibrate it, then colors on the screen will be close match with the print, and if you also can install color profiles for the printer for color proofing, then you can get very, very good results. Same goes with custom lab. If your system is calibrated, and all custom labs calibrate their systems, then you send them your files and you get prints the way you like it, and that's it. And the final is when you are working with clients. And clients, if they're professional, big clients, they always calibrate their system, so you don't have any problems. You send them images, all nice and good. If you're working with a small client, let's say small business like a coffee shop or barber or baker, and you just bring your memory stick with your images and give it to them, and they stuck it in their computer and it's not calibrated, and then baker looks at the screen and say, well, my bread is not green. And because of that, you need to explain them that the system needs to be calibrated in advance. I recommend to do it in advance. That's from personal opinion, personal experience. And this way you can offer them for a small fee to calibrate their system, or just bring your own laptop and show them that's how it's going to look like on the final product, all nice and peachy. So that's pretty much 3 main situations when you do need to calibrate your screens. How you calibrate your screens? Well, there is a gizmo called Color Calibrator, and few manufacturers produce them, and they pretty much do the same thing. They calibrate your monitor to a ICC standard, and that's what's important. I have one calibrator that I bought 12 years ago. Oops. That called Datacolor SpyderX 3. So in this 12 years, it worked perfectly. I did work with clients. I sent my pictures to photo agencies. I did printing. Never had complaints. It's still working just fine. No problem. So you can call me a happy customer. When about a few weeks ago, I received email from Digital Glue Agency in the UK, and they asked me if I'm willing to review a new color calibrator from Datacolor. And because of my experience, I said, sure, go ahead. And they sent me, oops, this Datacolor SpyderX Pro. I actually checked that release for this unit, and it's almost 2 years old, so it's not like brand new. Anyway, before continue, I want to make a disclosure. I don't have any relationship with manufacturers of equipment which is used in this video, in particular Datacolor or Digital Glue Agency. I exchanged with them a few emails regarding details, and I asked them specifically if they have any requirements for me how I do my review, so we don't have any conflict of interest. And they said, no, do whatever you like, fine. So later on I received this unit, and it's mine to keep. That's the only connection I have with them. That's it. And now let's go inside, because I'm going to show you a few things on computer screen, and in this bright sunlight you're not going to see much. See you in a second. Now let's talk about how this calibrator works. You got this box, you open, there is a card with web address where you go, it downloads software. When you start software, it will ask you about activation code, which is also in this box, and from that point you're good to go. This is actual color calibrator, and it consists of two parts. You take them apart, and this one is basically counterweight when you're hanging it on the screen, and you plug it in directly into your USB port. So let's plug it in. Let's start the software. Ta-dum, da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. So while software loading, it opens the first menu, and it gives you what you need to do. In general, this software is extremely simple. You really don't need to know anything about color calibration, because it just takes you step by step by step. It's asking you questions and click next. Question, next. Very simple. Here it says that you need to warm up your computer at least for 30 minutes, because LED screens, they warm up and they change color. Then it's asking you about lighting conditions. Now, about lighting conditions, this calibrator will can match your color on the screen with an ambient light in your room. And when you do critical color work, usually you have kind of dimly lit rooms where you're working on your computers. I'm a travel photographer, and I work whatever. I work in the hotel rooms, I work in the rental apartments, coffee shop on the street. So the only one thing I follow is that I don't sit next to the window with a bright sunlight, because it'll be hard for me to see any colors, anything I edit. So I sit somewhere inside, and to be honest, I never had problem with my clients. Just for that. If you do some critical work, that's a different story. Then you need to apply, and then this calibrator will help you to balance colors the best way for your for the light in your room. Then it's Spyder connection, plug-in Spyder, blah blah blah. You click next, like I said. Then here you choose what kind of LED screens you have. This is old laptop. I think it's like 4 years old. So I just put standard LED. There is a variety of them. You choose, then you click next again. Then it gives you option of recall, which is to recalibrate your screen if you already calibrated it before. And the reason for that, because if you calibrate it and you just recalibrate it, it's faster than the first time. Then you also have full calibrated at the bottom, and that's when you do calibration first time. And let's say we will do that. Current target settings, gamma 2.2, white point 6500K daylight, and brightness is not just because this is laptop, so the screen is actually built in, so Calibrator can control screens through hardware of the computer. There's a difference if you calibrate desktop monitor, because desktop monitor have its own buttons and software menus where you can change color temperature, color tint, special settings for movies or for photo or for whatever. Then it will, when you calibrate this kind of monitor, it will ask you to put certain settings, like for example white point. It will ask you for 6500 because that's how it calibrates monitors and things like that. But it's still very, very simple. You really don't need to do anything because it tells you, okay, do that. You do that, it shows you, okay, next step, okay. So it's really, really easy. For me, it's important because I don't want to know how it works, to be honest. All I want is that it calibrates monitor correctly and fast. That's all I care about. I don't know how my dishwasher works, but it's washing dishes. It's just my opinion. Different people have different ideas about it. I'm not an engineer. I just want it to work so I can take my pictures. Anyway, we go next. It shows where to put the calibrator. Very simple. Like I said, you put this thing on this thing, you put counterweight on the other side, and when it's here, you click next. And then it starts doing its magic. It runs through different colors, it runs through different gamma, and you just sit and wait. Here's the difference. My old calibrator, like I told you, 12 years old, usually it took some time, so I will go and have a coffee. This one is, I don't know, 5 times faster than my old one, which is kind of makes sense because it's been, what, 12 years. Other than that, like you can see, it runs for different colors, checking different things. I have no idea what it does, but let's just fast forward. Okay, it pipped and a blinking thing tells me measurement completed. Please remove your spider and click finish. We remove spider. And we click finish. It gives me this window where it says the name for your profile, what you just created. You can put your own name. It just writes the name of my computer. You need to save it, and every time you will start your computer again, it will be loaded into your computer, and this way screen always will be calibrated. And at the bottom, calibrator reminder, it stands here 1 month, so you can change it. And what happens is that after 1 month, on the screen, the window will pop up telling you that it's time to recalibrate your computer. Very easy. I actually sometimes did much longer than 1 month because I went on a trip for 1 or 2 or 3 months and I didn't want to carry with me a color calibrator. It was fine. I guess it depends on what you do on your computer, but I didn't have problems. So we click save. It gives us congratulations, blah blah blah. We click next, and it gives us this kind of stock images, and you can switch between calibrated and non-calibrated and see the difference. This is non-calibrated, this is uncalibrated, this is calibrated view. You click next. It shows you how your calibration of your monitor compared to sRGB, NTSC, Adobe RGB, P3. If you're interested in this kind of technical details, you can compare, but it's pretty close match with sRGB, which is used, for example, for color printing. So far so good. And then you click quit, and you're done. That's it. There is a difference if you have a second monitor attached, then it will recognize that there is another monitor, and it will give you a button where you can press, and it will say calibrate another monitor. It will ask you to move Calibrator to a second monitor and do the same thing step by step, no difference. So that's it, pretty much. Now your monitor is calibrated and you're good to go to do color work. Like I said, the difference between this one and that one, too unscientific, is that the new one gives you many more options, and it's definitely working much faster than my old one. Other than that, this is very useful gizmo. So finally, who doesn't need color calibrator? Well, if you do just simple things, you to snap your pictures with your phone or with your camera, and you enjoy them on the screen of your computer or put it on social media sites, and you find with color, then save yourself some money, because I checked it online on Amazon and it was $170. So, you know, for professional, it's absolutely worth it. It's for you to decide. I will put an affiliated link in the description below if you want to check it. Go ahead. Thanks for watching. See you soon.